Alright guys, welcome back. This is game 2 of the ESL ProSeries Cup number 1 Winter. And we have in the top right on Daybreak Winfakt. I'm sorry, I've been misreading that the entire time. Need to up the font. I'm blind. Anyway, we have Hazed as the tooltip shows when you mouse over his units. He's the Zerg who lost his lair to a 4-gate drop pleasure. Oh, hold on. And back in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we have, of course, Hazed in the top right on Daybreak. Apologies. Good game luck from the German player. There's no German banter back and forth. And Socke with the 4 and 5 gate pressure with the warped in, what are they called? Sentry trick. Excuse me. This early game is really kind of straining me. Get pretty good at it later in the game. We already have the forge first, it looks like, coming out of Socke. He already put the forward pylon, which is very snazzy. I kind of like that. A lot of players will put the first pylon in base and then go for the forge fast expand. At least in Silver and Gold League players, which is the ones I'm against. I'm going to try to get into Gold this season. And pull first from Hazed. There's no... Is he going to go right into the hatch? Looks like Socke is definitely going for that Nexus first play. The Overlord will see it before, I believe, before even the forge comes down. But I could be very wrong about that. Full first, and look at that. They're fighting with the probe for that placement. He really damaged that probe. I guess Socke wasn't microing it as well as he thought. First hatch coming down, first Nexus coming down, 2 Zerglings and the forge getting the wall off. It's a bit wider here than it was on Metropolis. And there's no destructible rocks for later, so you will have to kill one of these buildings or just leave it open. Got this nice little curve here, and will Socke put it on a pylon for the third? If he does, I mean, Hazed already has Zerglings out, so if there was a pylon down, he could kill it in plenty of time. And yes, it does look like a drone is coming down to follow and put down an early third before gas again. I wonder if he will drone up as much as he should have last game and then go for it. But we have the double gas coming down. We have no Cybernetics for yet. Oh, there he is, right as I said it. Still leaving a little path here. Is he can block it off with a Zealot? Not yet. With this forge, we have the possibility for an early upgrade, which would be very beneficial for those Zealot skins Zerglings. We don't always see our roaches. Sorry, not roaches, drones, 5 of them coming out. I would love to see a gas just to start Zergling speed or something, or get the early layer like you want, as well as saving up a little for your first batch of roaches from Hazed. But I guess he's been playing a lot more than I have. Now, Socke does see this third, and it looks like his probe will be taken out. One more hit. Come on. Right around the corner. No, looks like those shields just keep them alive long enough. The Overlord will begin to scout the empty base, and yes, we have another robotics facility coming down. We'll probably see another drop of gateways coming in. more drones, and now the 2 gas, 1 in each, or wow, 3 gas coming out. No, just the 2. With the natural, which is very, I want to say odd, but I guess to each his own. He's still droning up a lot, so he will saturate this 3rd more easily this time. Now the Ro8 comes down for him. We've got sentries coming out for the almost warp gated with another 70 seconds, 60 seconds, another minute on warp gate. We have sentries coming out to block this area if there is early pressure, which there won't be any. But we do have 12 lanes coming out. I believe he won't do anything with them. He will just have seen the wall, and yeah, more gates came out for Socke. Fully saturated, 3 in each. We got the early layer again from. I wonder if he learned his lesson. Maybe he should have put it here. Although, and we've got an immortal. Are we going to see another? No, we have 2 immortals coming out. There's going to be no shuttle yet, and no robotics there yet. See that chrono booster? We've got plenty of energy to do something with this chrono boost. His upgrades. Oh, yep, there he goes. Dropping that hammer, the chrono hammer, and we have ranged upgrade 1. No Zergling speed yet, or Ro8 speed yet, even though he does. His layer is just about to pop. Will he do it? Come on, we can do it. Zergling speed's already going. Give him Ro8 speed. Alright, anyway. There it is, Ro8 speed just dropped. We have more immortals coming out for Socke, and it looks like he'll be well prepared for anything that Hazed throws against him. More gateways coming down, a pylon vision. This probe will see the aggression coming in right there. Checking the 3rd. Is he going to take the... Oh, it's a bad time to move out Socke, although if he does push now, he will just be very easily going towards the field. Very well done. Catching the sentry from the Zerglings, but not from the Ro8. Kind of killed him. And Socke continues with this attack with the forward pylons. Very interesting choice, but he does have an immortal. He does have sentries to force field, and the immortal can just take out every Ro8 there with impunity because I believe it outranges them. Yes, by 2 lanes. So Socke is coming in with the 2nd forward pylon and the shuttle for backup to take out this 3rd. The Gateway Immortal Army kills all. Is he gonna take out all of them? Hazed alive, so much further ahead, but now if the Asher does die, is he gonna chase all these? Oh, the larva die so quickly. I don't think they're gonna take the long route. Brought all of these Ro8s back, but he is supply blocked right now. Gotcha. Just popped there. More Ro8s coming out, 3 spine crawlers on the way, and a server coming out for Socke. Plenty of force field energy. Although not too much more. We've got 3 more inside. And he's some more. What kind of kills? 5 and 6. Oh gosh, they're so good against them. Pull these weak stalkers to the back, fella. 9 more Ro8s out, 3 queens, another stalker warping in for Socke. No upgrades. 1-1 and 0-1. Some zealots coming out the tank. Did that. 1 other force field. We're just pushing forward to try to take out the moles, but they're being microed back effectively. 7 more Ro8s coming out for Hazed. He built up enough of a bank with that 3rd base that he was able to keep it going, and Zealot is whacking away on these larvae. Yeah. Larvae have evolved to live through a whole lot of stuff, man. Look at that. Oh, he's going to catch him. Throw a couple force fields and take the long way around maybe, but he was able to fend them off, and there's not enough roaches to take out that army. It would do some damage and not pick off an immortal though. 7 and 8 now on immortal, 6 on this home one. Another little engagement right here. Socke is more of a fly block now. He just picked off that forward pylon up in at the edge of his creep here. If he puts down, he's put down his third again. He has a macro hatch. Look at this. Hazed is a whole new player now. He was a little rusty in that first game, and good idea on the second. Another blast. All these queens are so vulnerable. Take him out, 2 down. So, observer coming around. No vision from Hazed for detectors, so there's going to be no picking off of the observer as it has just free reign to walk through, but apparently it's just following. And another warping canceled by Hazed with those mass roach play. A style I first saw used by Stefano to great effect, and it looks like Hazed has learned well. We have Burrow coming in. We're going to get the tunneling claws, I believe. Yeah, tunneling claws coming out soon after, I believe. And he needs to put some gas back in. There was a warp in the main. I totally missed that. That is a real shame. That would have been interesting to watch. The heavy queen production I really like out of Hazed to protect, and the third is now up for Socke. That first push was to back it up. 2 roaches just liquidated. Plenty of sentries here. Shoved them off. That pylon will die. He will be supply pylon, but force field will be there long enough that Socke can get there and take down the roaches. But Burrow is finished. The Dark Bay is coming out. The Colossi was finished. These players spend a lot of money, but they are migrating in battle, so nitpick near the observer. These 2 up here, yeah, more. I think another robotics bay and maybe 2 more observers would be great. Right now, these spine crawlers are rather haphazardly pushed around, and the third is back down. Although Socke, even though he's barely ahead in supply, he can't be ahead in supply. He cannot be behind in supply, excuse me, as observed in anything in PvP or PvP. And effectively going to be ahead in supply in PvZ. But that's all about composition. Plenty of sentries. Continued upgrades. Pathogen glands. Interesting. That means that his overlords... That is not it. Is that Infestor Tech? That is Infestor Tech, excuse me. I know it when I click on it just by the placement of it on the game board, but I have not remembered all of the different upgrade names yet. A bunch of creep spread coming out from Hazed with his massive amount of queens. He has 6 queens for 3 bases. Very well done. He should be putting down a 4th. Yep. Right as I say that, we have another semi-push coming out from Socke. Is he going to do? He's got his forces split in 2, but he does have the army supply lead just barely, and he's got the worker supply. That is just a shame. Come on, Zergy. You can do better than that. Another warp in down here up and I thought Socke was going to wait on that so he could have a distraction and take out this 4th, but he's pulling back while all those roaches handily took out the zealots, because if you move a roach at all, it wins. We have infestors coming down. They have fungal right when they pop, and look at that. We have 5 infestors coming down, and a spire coming down, a 4th hatch, and another the first melee attack, excuse me. We have extended thermal lance, another attack upgrade just finished for the particle disruptors on the Socke. We have Storm coming down. I didn't even see the Templar Archives get built. But hopefully, look at that. Those Templar are here just to use up all of his saved up gas and to get some wicked storms on these. If you can force field and then storm, oh, you're in such good shape. Oh, these roaches are on move. They were not on attack. Oh, that is such lost. So much lost by Hazed to Socke. DT is coming in to scout and harass. Fifth base coming down for Hazed, and a fourth coming down for Socke. GG already. Oh, Hazed. He knew he was beat. He knew he had not the upgrades, and he was right. He could have won an engagement if Socke was unfortunate and didn't have any Colossi. But he has Colossi, and he has force fields, and he has storms. He has so much AoE damage against a very AoE vulnerable army. Area effect damage, you usually choose one as Protoss. Socke went with a nice balance of both, which is very gas intensive. If you didn't have the gas for it, he couldn't have done it. But he macroed just right for this. Hazed did a much better job lasting in this game than he did in the first one. I was really happy to see that he didn't, but he is on one base. He was going to lose his fifth by the next push, I'm sure, and he's running out of minerals in his main and natural. He had no air, no corruptors. It was already maxed, and he's got too much money. So his composition, excuse me, of units was just not right for the army he was going up against, and he knew he was heavily beat. So the best he could have hoped for was Socke to stay in his base and not attack, and then Hazed could have traded some units so he could switch out for some corruptors or otherwise. But then Socke would have had this huge bank, come to attack with a maxed army, and then just remaxed immediately afterwards after building a whole bunch more production centers. He had so many gateways. He's got DTs. These DTs would have wreaked havoc if they hadn't already. They were already attacking, and he has no detectors for these two DTs who have, I think, observer support. No, if they had observer support, they could have taken out all these group tumors and just crippled him even more. But that was a good game. Socke played extremely well, and we'll just move on to the next one.